The mass media on the internet, our military corps, provide very comprehensive and very objective information on this matter. Let's start with the North, precisely with the group of the North. Let me remind you that the goal for the Russian troops in the Sumy and Volchansk directions is to create a security zone along our borders. This goal was set after the Russian troops invaded the Kursk region and continued their attack on our borders. The Ukrainian regime will pay for its crimes in the Kursk region by losing the territory we need to create a security zone along our borders. By the way, there is a regional center to the city of Sumy. It is a small city. I think there are more than 30,000 buildings. There are about 10.5 kilometers to the city of Sumy. This is a regional center, as I said, with 30,000 houses. We do not have any political plans for this city and the region as a whole. We will focus on the proposal of the Ministry of Defense and the General Staff. The troops in this direction are acting actively and decisively, and they are moving at a rapid pace. Let's move on from the north to the south. The group of the West has a large area of responsibility. I will start with the city of Kupiansk. Our troops are located at a distance of 2.5 to 4 to 5 kilometers from the western city limits. The enemy has already launched a number of counterattacks. They have not been successful. The settlement of Rubtsin is in the next direction. On the left bank of the starry Oskol River, we have practically blocked a diverse group of about 5,000 people. It is pressed against the river. The first tank army of the Russian armed forces is moving from above and suppressing the enemy from the north. The 3rd Anti-Aircraft Gun Division is moving from the east, and the 144th Division is moving from the south. It is completely surrounded. Everything is under military control there. It is about 2 kilometers away from the final encirclement. The 144th Division is solving this problem. I believe it will be successful. Later, the fate of this group of enemies will be similar to that of the Kupiansk unit. If you remember, the tank group was in the same position. It was completely destroyed. Next, the city of Krasnoye Limo. It is in the Krasnoye Limo direction. It is a rather large settlement. The city has about 11,000 houses. But that is not the point. The point is that it is one of the largest railway stations on the territory of the former Soviet Union. It is the most important logistics center in the DPR. There are 149 houses out of 11,000 left to be liberated. I would like to remind you of one more thing. I would like to remind you that the most important fortified area was being created by the armed forces of Ukraine for almost 10 years as a strategic defensive line in the agglomeration of Slavyansk, Kramatorsk, Druzhkovka, Alexeyevo-Druzhkovka, and Konstantinovka, as well as the cities of Dobropolye and Okerechye in the southwest. All this is located in the zone of responsibility of the southern and central groups. The Third Army of the Southern Group is moving towards Slavyansk at a good pace. Nikolaevka, Slavyansk itself, is about 8 to 9 kilometers away. The offensive is successful in 15 areas. Our troops are moving in this direction every day. The most important events took place in the zone of responsibility of the Central Group. Our troops broke through the three-level engineering line of fortifications at a depth of about 400 meters in 4 areas and are fighting for possession of the defensive line. Very important events also took place in the Dobropoli area. Our troops broke through the well-prepared, considered impregnable three-level engineering line of fortifications in the Dobropoli area. They entered the settlement of Anovka, adjacent to Dobropoli, and moved northwards. There are no well-prepared defensive lines in the Dobropoli area. They are trying to create local strongholds. It is 35 kilometers from Dobropoli to the state border. 35 kilometers. We can go back to the battle work of the Southern Group, which is fighting for the liberation of one of the most important strongholds of the strategic line of defense and services of the city of Konstantinovka. 96% of the city is in our hands. The 4th Brigade is clearing the city, while the 6th Division of the Southern Brigade has already bypassed Konstantinovka and reached Alexeyevo-Druzhkovka. They entered the city, took Pokhachevskaya Street, and moved on. Neighbors on the left also approached Alexeyevo-Druzhkovka settlement. Then there will be Druzhkovka itself, a fairly large settlement with 12,000 houses. It joins Alexeyevo-Druzhkovka. From Druzhkovka to Kramatorsk, which is considered the temporary capital of Donetsk in Kiev's current government, it is only 4 kilometers to Kramatorsk. And there are no strongholds there either. As far as we know, the enemy has already begun to evacuate industrial enterprises from this agglomeration. I would also like to note the special actions of the Vostok Group. Despite the enhanced defense of the enemy transferred troops from the Donetsk Republic, well-trained troops, to the Zaporozhye direction. Our troops, under the command of Colonel General Andrei Ivanayev, are carrying out combat missions to liberate the Zaporozhye region. On the wide front, they move 1 kilometer to 300 meters every day. Dnipro has a large responsibility zone. It successfully fights in the Orakov direction and operates along the coast of the Kakov Reservoir in the general direction to Zaporozhye.